Hello, friends. Hello and welcome. Welcome to yours and my Cozy Corner. My name is Amanda, and on this channel, we talk about books, and more books. So, guys, today we are going to do a reading vlog, or at least I'm going to attempt to. So, what I'm going to do is I plan to spend the day at the park because it is such a beautiful day outside. However, it is, I don't know, 90 something degrees. And I mean, it's a little hot out there. So I don't know how much time I'm actually going to spend out there reading, but I am going to go. I'm going to make a good attempt and we'll see what happens. So the book that we're going to read for this vlog here is Best Offer Wins by Marisa Kashino. This is one of the books that I got from Second and Charles. I believe I have already done a review. As far as like a book haul for this, I can't remember. Maybe I have, maybe I haven't. So just in case I have not, I just give you a really quick synopsis. It says here, 18 months and 11 lost bidding wars into house hunting in the overheated Washington, D.C. suburbs. 37-year-old publicist Margot gets a tip about the perfect house in the perfect neighborhood slated to come up for sale in 1 month. Desperate to escape the cramped apartment she shares with her husband, Ian, and in turn get their marriage, plan to have a baby, and a whole life back on track, Margot becomes obsessed with buying the house before it's publicly listed and the masses descends. And now I have not, heard any like detailed information about this book, but what I have heard is that the book is quite funny and the main female character Margot is a bit unhinged, or she becomes unhinged. So I'm hoping that this book is a good time, and I really need a good time with the rest of the reads for this month because like I've mentioned before in my other videos, my reading this year has not been that great. So, and that's the first half of the year. So, I'm hoping the second half is going to be better and we're going to have more 5-star reads and those type of things. So, hopefully this book will hit the spot. Again, I love an unhinged character. And if you have ever bought a home before, or maybe not even just buying a home, if you're just trying to rent a home and that competition and thinking you found the right one and then you don't, you lose out to someone, it can make you become a bit unhinged. So like I said, hopefully this will be a good time. I'm gonna go out to the park. Hopefully I don't pass out from the heat and get some good footage for you guys. So anyway, see you guys later. Peace. have made it back from the park. It was very nice being at the park. However, it was 90 something degrees, and with the humidity, it felt like it was 102. So it was a little bit uncomfortable. I didn't stay out there as long as I wanted to, but I still went, and I suppose that's all that matters. I was able to get some reading done, and I read uh up until chapter 6. So I finished chapter 6, and I don't know, I would say that's about 20% or so of the book. So far, so good. I am enjoying the book. And so let me tell you, we have Margot, who is the main female character, and Ian, who is the main male character in the book. So they have been house hunting, and I think they put like a bid out, and this is like their 11th bid, and they have not gotten a house yet in the Washington, D.C. area. And if you have ever tried to find a house, especially when the market is crazy, it can be very frustrating. And they are kind of pretty much at their wits' end. Margot, I would say more so than Ian is. And we are really seeing their character. Like their personality really coming out in these different characters. And Margot, hmm, I don't want to be too quick to judge her, but so far I'm really not feeling Margot. She has a very manipulative personality. I could see that she doesn't care anything about crossing the line to get what she wants. Now, it could be that maybe she's behaving this way because at this point she is sick of losing bids on houses. And as a matter of fact, with their budget, they have been going over, and I wrote this down so I remember, they have gone over asking price by $250,000. That is absolutely insane. I know people live places and the pricing of the homes are quite different from what it is from where I live. But I mean, $250,000, that's an entire house, and it's a nice size home here where I stay. And I understand that's not the same for everybody, but I could never imagine offering $250,000 over the listed price. And not only are they offering that, they're still not getting a house. So I do understand her frustration, but she's trying to do that at the same time while trying to do a little bit too much of everything else as well, trying to build a family and everything. And that's not a spoiler because they said in like the first chapter. But I also understand Ian's point, and he's kind of like, maybe we need to just chill for a minute. Maybe this is kind of a sign that we need to chill out for a minute and, just hold back. And Margot isn't feeling that whatsoever. Um, but however, I'm not a big fan of Ian either. So there's a part, and let me say this, with doing these reading vlogs, it may be a possibility, maybe a very strong possibility that there are going to be some spoilers in here. So if you're a person that absolutely don't like spoilers, just can't deal with spoilers, then I would say proceed with caution because I don't know how to do this vlog without talking about certain things that's probably could be considered a spoiler. I'm not 100% certain. I'm still new to the vlogging part, so I will work on that. But as of now, I'm not feeling Ian either. And the reason he, and let me see, I wrote it down. Um, okay, so basically him and Margot got into this argument. And she did go a little bit below the belt. She didn't have to go where she went. And his response to her was like, F you, you're acting like a F and B. Uh-uh. No, sir, no, ma'am. I don't care how upset you are. talking to me personally like that is that's a no-go. I don't understand that language at all. Um, I'd rather you just walk away and not say anything. Like that was just so rude. So really, I mean, I know that they're frustrated and I know that sometimes we can say things that we don't mean, but I definitely think he meant it because thus far he definitely hasn't apologized for what he said. Um, and I get that she is a very frustrating um, person to deal with, or at least thus far, that's what she seems to be. Honestly, it seemed like instead of them buying a house and trying to start a family, they may need to decide if they really need to be together. So, if they're already acting out like this and it's only chapter 6, I can't imagine what's going to happen in the rest of the chapters and how unhinged this lady is going to be. So, anyway, I look forward to it. That's where I'm at now. Like I said, I just finished chapter 6. So that's about 20% or so of the book. So, anyway, I'll check in with you guys later. Bye. All right, guys. So, we are back. The last time I left off this video, we were chapter 6, I believe was the last chapter we were on. So now I am 50% into the book. And guys, Margot is becoming more and more unhinged. And I have my notes here, take a look at. Let me get a little comfortable though. I got my camera at a different angle. I hope it's not like entirely like too close. But anywho, let me take a look at my notes. So okay, and her husband really kind of messed up. He messed up, and this is the thing. When you are doing stuff that you have no business doing and you involve other people, there's always a chance that they're going to slip up and let the cat out of the bag, so to speak. And just, if you're going to do dirt and you could do it, just do it on your own, because you shouldn't be doing dirt, but if you're going to do it on your own. So anyway, Ian in the book just messing up. Margot is becoming more and more unhinged. And, I don't know what these vlogs, like how to talk in detail without giving away spoilers. So, I'm trying to look at my notes, but these are going to be the notes that I use for my journal. So there's some detailed things in here that I don't want to say. So again, if you're bothered kind of by possibilities of spoilers, I would say just proceed with caution, because if I do, I apologize. Don't charge it to my heart. Charge it to my head if I do accidentally give away spoilers. But what I would say is that, the question is starting to become with Margot is like, when you're reading this, where do you stand? Do you agree with her in how she's going about doing things, or do you think she's doing too much? Me personally, I think she's doing too much. I can understand the frustration of wanting a home, and being outbidded several times could drive a person crazy. But I think in life, when you keep getting, hit and slapped with what you feel is unfairness, or just what just seems to be, negative stuff back to back to back, then that is the sign for you to stop, pause, think about it. Relax, think about it, give it a break, and start over. And Margot isn't. And I'm pretty certain as I continue to read, because remember, I'm 50% into the book now. Continuing to read this book, it's like, how unhinged is this lady going to be? I don't know. Well, anyway, so I'm going to check back in because I'm going to keep reading. This is actually a really short book. It is, let's see, it's only 269 pages. So it's a really short book. It's an easy read. And I believe this is the author's debut novel. And like I said, so far, so good. But anyway, I'm going to quit yapping, finish reading the rest, and I will check back in with you guys later. Bye. Okay, guys, I am back, and so I just finished chapter 25, and Margot is, I don't know what to say about Margot. I keep saying unhinged because Margot is unhinged. Let me tell you something. Trust your intuition about people. When you meet people and you think something feels a little off about this person, go with that. Trust that, because 9 times out of 10, you probably are right. When I first started this book, I was like, I don't know that I'm feeling Margot, and there's a good reason for me not to be feeling her. I mean, the things that she is willing to do for a house is just it's absolutely just freaking outrageous. And I think this is I'm laughing because I want to tell you guys some specific examples, but I don't want to ruin the book for you. But so far, so good. So far, I would definitely recommend this book to anyone that like unhinged characters. Um, and again, it's kind of put me in a situation where you have to ask yourself, like, what are you willing to do to get what it is that you want? What is your limits? Do you have any limits? If so, what are your limits? If you have read this book before, please tell me if you agree with Margot and the things that she's doing to be able to get this house. So anyway, like I said, I am on. I just finished chapter 25. I don't know that I'm gonna read any more of this tonight, so I'll probably just pick this up tomorrow. But I mean, honestly, I really could go ahead and finish it, but I think I think I'll probably just save it. That's one of the things that I'm trying not to do, is to rush in reading. And now, don't get me wrong. If a book is just so good and I'm immersed in the book, I might just go ahead and just keep reading, reading, reading. But I don't want to do that necessarily with this book, because I have some other things that I really do need to take care of. So I'd rather just take care of that and then come back to the book. So anyway, I will catch you guys later. Bye. Or should I say peace? Okay, guys. So we are back, and we, meaning me, and I am finished with Best Offer Wins. And this is again by Marisa Kashino. Guys, I have to say, this book did not go the way that I thought it would go. Not at all, not even a little bit. Just did not see this book going the way that it did. Someone told me, so prior to reading this book, I hadn't read like any major reviews, because I didn't want to get any spoilers of the book. But one of the things that I would hear people made like a comment on was that it was a dark humor in the book. Now I'm gonna lie, I didn't find any dark humor whatsoever in this book at all. I didn't get the dark humor. But this book, it's a good book. I recommend this book to you guys. But it's not probably going to be what you think, or at least it just wasn't what I was thinking with this book. Now, let me see if there's anything in my notes that I can actually share with you guys without giving away spoilers. Let's see. Okay, no. There is nothing in my notes that I can tell you, because I feel like all of it will give it away. But great book. Pick it up. I think you guys will enjoy it, and I definitely recommend it. So, anyway, next book, I'm not certain. I do kind of sort of have a TBR list, I suppose. I don't know. But anyway, I'm not certain what the next book is going to be, but I don't think I'm going to worry about vlogging it, because this vlogging thing is a little challenging, because again, I don't know how to talk about books without talking about them. So I have a section or a play in the playlist. It's called Deep Dive, and that's where I can actually freely talk about the books in details. And I think just from this experience, I'm probably just going to stick to Deep Dive, because I want to be able to talk about a book and talk about the book in details without worrying about whether or not I'm going to give away spoilers. And anybody who watch one of my deep dive videos will understand that, hey, if I'm listening to this, or sitting there watching it, either they don't mind spoilers, and or maybe they don't plan to read the book, but they still want to know about the book. I think I will probably do better with that instead of just the reading vlogs here. So anyway, guys, that's all that I have to say. Hopefully you have stuck around to the end of this video. If you have, please like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.